Welcome to Artist Found, a place where art making, thrifting, and interior design combine. Today's haul is all about farmhouse finds. I got a giant collection. I picked these things up at garage sales, estate sales, and at thrift stores. I'm going to show you where you can find these, how to use them in your decor, and I'm going to make some art to go along with it later on in the next video. Hope you enjoy. This is the Farm Country Farmhouse Thrift Haul, and these are items that I have picked up based on looking at Joanna Gaines' collection, looking at Jami Ray Vintage, and also looking at the Crazy Lamp Lady. I've learned a lot about different items, but I also come with my own history. I am an artist, and I like to pick the things that I like and how I can repurpose them. So first up on our haul, I picked up this at a garage sale for $1, and it is just a really nice wicker, or not a wicker, a wire basket that can be used to collect, different things on your counter, either decor, apples, it can also be napkins, whatever you see for a purpose for that. And then this came as a stack, and I think these are really great for organizing your pantry or your cabinetries. If you have open shelving, I think these would be great. And again, it gives that industrial country sort of look with that wire look. Next up, I picked up these canisters. I can't help myself. I like to find things that have multiple purposes. And so these canisters were picked up. They're in great condition. I just love the look to them. They have a little bit of age to them, but they're in really great shape. And I just love the color, and it came with a group of 4, and I picked them up at a garage sale. And so they give sort of that age old world look, which I actually really like. And then of course we have the big large crock bowl. This is a vintage crock bowl. It is ovenware. It has a really old edge at the bottom, and it also has the label on the bottom that's a little bit older than most. It does have some imperfections as far as the glaze, but I think it was part of the manufacturer, and I just think it's really pretty. You could put your fruit in here, you could just put it on a shelf. It gives you that really nice sort of old country look. Keeping that in mind, I also have this piece of pottery. It's called the Victory, I believe, pottery, and it is from Arkansas. It's the Norlock, and it's just a really pretty color. I think it goes great with sort of this mix with the wood tones and the wire, so it does a good mixture with that. And again, you could put things in this, or it could just be a collection of pottery that you collected. And again, I picked this up at an estate sale very, very reasonably. This is also a really cool thing I found at a garage sale. I believe you could put a plate on it. You could also put another basket in it, or you could just put, like I had the bowl on top of it. I thought it elevated it, made it look really nice. So that's something that you could think about doing, and it looks really cool. And again, really simple thing to find. I have a lot here. This is a crock I picked up just the other day at Goodwill. It's from the Great American Stoneware Factory, and it is used for utensils. You could use it for a potted plant. There's many purposes that this could serve, but it was in excellent condition. No cracks, no breaks, or anything like that. So this will be on my Etsy store along with all the other items that you see. These are found pretty easily at garage sales. This is just a cheese keeper. I might oil this up. But what I like about this is this gives you an opportunity to not only just store food for display for parties or for everyday use, but you can also put items underneath it that are precious, that kind of go with the look that you're going for, and I'll show you that a little bit later in one of my style videos. This is just a pot, a flower planter, and the coloring is gorgeous, especially for fall. It has this really beautiful pumpkin color. It's speckled, and this is Hager. And if you follow Crazy Lamp Lady, you know she loves this stuff. I don't know if in particular she likes this planter, but I do know that that is a big brand that she likes. It's Royal Hager, but this is just Hager. I'm sure it's just an offshoot of it, or just, this is more of a utilitarian and less of the figural vase style.
So that is this one, and it is gorgeous. I would use this on the countertop for utensils. I've got a lot of them. I like to bake, I like to cook. This would look great with rolling pins. Jami Ray Vintage does that a lot, but she uses a clear container. But I like the pottery look. I think it's the influence of me being a potter myself. And so I like that look a lot. And it goes great with fall colors. This happens to be a wreath that I was able to pick up at a garage sale. This later on, I'm going to show you how I styled this with a wreath that I picked up that was really plain. All right, so I like pottery that is handmade by different artists, local artists or whatever. I'm not sure where this came from as far as a local artist or whatever, but it was in my local thrift store. It is handmade. It has a really beautiful glaze. I don't know if those are leaves or feathers. I'm calling them feathers. But I just like the detail they put the handle, and it feels great. It's got great weight. So this will be in my Etsy shop. This one I was so thrilled to find. I love things from different countries. I think it makes your home look a little bit more unique. And with my ethnic background, I like to show off a little bit of different ethnic, flair that I have in my family. And so this is a really cool, just a water pitcher, but you could also use it for a juice pitcher. You could also just use it on display. But this is hand painted in Norway. So any Norwegians out there looking for this type of pottery, I've got it for you. Again, this is another little pitcher. I use this for watering my plants. It is hand painted. It is in excellent shape. I love the old world sort of look to it. Very generous opening. And this is the Blue Ridge China. It's antique, and I think it's just really pretty. I think it's something that people who want to add some decor items to give it a little bit more of an aged, old world look, this would be ideal. Keeping that in mind, I found this cute, really nice lettering typography, very old world typography on this piece, and I picked it up for $1, and it's adorable. And I just still got to cut that part off. But this is so cute. If you do a lot of decorating with blue and white, which I really love, this is a great piece to add. It just adds a little bit of color, but not too much. So if you like the blue and white styling. I have an attachment for wooden boxes because I like to keep these on my bookshelves and you put different items in it. This is a hand-painted cigar box. I just think the gold leafing is really bright, and just the little detail that was put into the actual flowers I think is just amazing. Whoever was the artist was very skilled, very talented. Can you see that? Yep. A little dusty, but has a little latch, still works. And you can see it was Nutra Cabinets made this, or it is the type of cigars, I'm not quite sure, but it is painted over by the artist, painted in there with some green, which is really nice. But I just think this is the cutest little box. Maybe I'll keep it, maybe I'll sell it. I haven't really decided yet, but this one is something that I can't seem to resist, and I picked this up for about $2. Okay, this is a box that I picked up at Goodwill. I think I paid $3 for it, and I'm not sure if this was made or if someone put this together, but it's just a solid wooden box, and it has some felt lining to it. And I am going to use this as a DIY project. I am taking some cues from Jami Ray Vintage because this red is great in some settings, but I think I'm going to tone it back to fit more of the farmhouse style. And again, I'm taking cues from what are some current trends in interior design. So you might want to do that. Look for colors that you like, or I would go ahead and find something that makes you happy. Maybe the red is your thing, but this is actually going to change color a little later. All right, so I also love glass, and I find glass pretty much really reasonable just about anywhere. I can go and pick it up at garage sales and things like that. I love blue. This is a really cool shape, and this is probably going to be put out in the spring, but I just had to bring it out as part of the glass collection. I don't think it's actually blue glass. I think it might be reverse painted, but I still think it's a really cool shape and really pretty. It would look really pretty with sand and shells in it or something like that, but I just like the shape of it, and I think it'll add a little bit of something for a tabletop decor. All right, some of the trends that I've seen with Jami Ray Vintage and also Joanne Gaines is a lot of the amber glass is coming back. This is a bottle that I picked up at a garage sale, and I think it might be older. It's labeled number 7. I don't recognize the marking on the back, but I like the amber glass a lot. I think this would look great with something tall in it and then put on a table for decor or on a shelf. But again, pick this up really reasonable. I know you can do the same thing. Anything that I'm finding at my garage sales and estate sales, I'm positive if you were to go out and get it, you would be able to do the same thing. But if you don't have the time, you are welcome to check out my Etsy shop, and all these things will be for sale in my Etsy shop. And watch my styling videos so you can see how I pair some of this stuff together, because I often have friends that come to my home and they see the things that I have and they love it all, but they themselves couldn't put it together. And so that's why I've decided to add that styling portion of my videos to show how you take these sort of separate items and you put them together and actually create some really cool sort of tablescapes or shelf arrangements, or just how to use them, repurpose them. So that's that amber glass, very tall vase. And then this one, I think you could put in a candle. I think you could put in a real candle. You could put a battery operated candle. I think twinkle lights would be really pretty in that. But it does have a handle, so it could hang if you wanted to hang it somewhere. It's kind of heavy. But it has this prism look to it, which I think is really neat. I don't think this is old. I think this is definitely new, just because the handle that was added looks like it's been manufactured, mass produced sort of thing. But it's not chipped, it's not broken, it's really pretty. I think it would look really great with a candle in it. All right, so this is a rack. It's a little dusty yet because I literally just picked it yesterday. These are bottles that I've been finding quite a bit. I think it's for people that make their own soda or their own sort of, you know, maybe, I don't know, wine. But these have those little fasteners. They do work. This one's plastic. This one actually is ceramic. And this is a bottle rack, and I just think it's really cool looking. You could obviously use it for other things other than bottles, but I think this is a really pretty look that you could go ahead and put, you know, anywhere in your kitchen, your dining room, wherever you think that would look nice. Again, this is mass produced. I think this is really popular right now with farmhouse style. Pick this up for very little. But again, this will all be in my Etsy shop, and I think I'm gonna include the bottles. Now these are super fun. I had ideas to turn some of these into lamps where you actually drill through the bottom and you electrify it. And I thought about doing that. This one's copper. It's a little bit loose. I think that's why someone decided to get rid of it. But I think it's really got some beautiful patina to it. It's really pretty. Paid $3. And I think that would look great with a little light underneath it. This one here is a brass. Again, I think I picked it up at the same exact estate sale. And again, it's a good idea to go through the kitchen. Everyday items, those usually go for a reasonable price because a lot of people don't see a lot of value in it, or they just think there's so much of it. This one is a porcelain or a painted painted coating on this one. Again, all of these do have holes in them, so if I really wanted to, I could go ahead and electrify them. I'm gonna put them up on my Etsy shop, one at a time, each one in a different category, and then I will let people decide what they want to do with them. They could be used. This one is definitely household safe and usable. It did have a replacement screw here, so I think it would be better to be used either for just decor, or you could use it for putting some light bulbs in it and electrifying it. I think that would look really, really cool. So there's that. This is a really pretty basket that I picked up at a garage sale. It must have had some kind of plants in it at one time, and then when the plants died, they just wanted to get rid of the basket. I really liked it because it's made of sticks and it needs a little cleaning up, but I went ahead and found this burlap ribbon and I put it on there for now. I can see this, especially during the fall, with some pumpkins in here, things like that. So it may come back in my style video and show you how you can repurpose unique baskets like this. I like finding things that are a little bit different than the baskets that you find everywhere. Okay, moving on with the glass items. If we are talking French country or farmhouse, Some popular items that you would want to be looking for, or that you can find in my Etsy shop, is milk bottles. This is actually a vintage milk bottle. I like how you can actually hold it. It's very cool. This could be filled with items. It also could just be set up with a ribbon on it and put on a shelf. But this is a really beautiful old milk bottle. These are a lot of little milk bottles. Some of these are vintage, some of these are not. And I just like the shape of them. And again, these can be picked up pretty inexpensively. This one has an anchor on it. This one here is just a bottle. I like the shape of it. I think if you were to fill it up with something like maybe lamb's ear, this is just, you buy that really cheaply at your craft stores. Or you can also fill it with cotton balls like that. And I think that would look really cool. So those are 3 other bottles that you could add to your collection for Farmhouse. This is very similar to that blue one that I picked out. It's a really unique shape. I think you could put some stones in there or feathers. I like collecting feathers. Put the feathers in the freezer so you can kill all the germs, but if you were to lay some feathers in there, or even some fake leaves, it's fall, it'd be pretty to put some things like that in there, or little pumpkins, or just anything to bring the holiday or the season into it. But this is a beautiful shaped vase. This was one of my best finds. I picked this up in an estate sale. They were relocating and they just had to get rid of everything. And I just was drawn, it came with the carrier, and I was drawn to this because it has a cow on it. So cute. It says Vermont Country Milk, and it has all this information about their milk production and a little history on their farm, and I just thought their logo was perfect. It's so cute, just a little cow. So I got 2 of those. I think these are pretty hard to find. The lady that sold them, she was really, she had a hard time letting them go, but she's like, I just can't take it with me. So that's how I was able to get these beautiful milk bottles. And these are on my Etsy shop. And then yesterday I was going through Goodwill and I happened to find this milk glass container, and it says parsley flakes in that old sort of script. And this is actually from the 1950s. And it has no chips or cracks, has this original lid, it has a wide opening. I think this would look really cute if you had a collection of these and you don't have parsley flakes. Obviously you could add that to your collection, but I also just like it if it were on a shelf with a collection of other items, really any of the items that I already have, and put them on a shelf, put them on your countertop. It's a really beautiful kitchen item, and I just like the font on there, and I like the design. It's real cute. And of course you can't have a farmhouse with thinking about the animals. And so this is a hen on nest, I believe it's called. This is Indiana glass, and this is the amber, and amber is coming back as a popular decor item. This one is in really great shape. You can find these in clear, you can find them in iridescent, you can find them in pink, but this one's an amber one. I think it looks really, really nice. Goes well with that chicken painting in the background. While I was out, again, I found more milk glass, and I am actually a big fan of milk glass. I think milk glass is really functional, it's beautiful, it's durable, and it's very plain so that you can mix and match it with lots of different things into your decor. I like to use fabric, vintage fabrics in my decor, and I like to use plants and things like that to kind of bring out the details. And the white of the milk glass, I think, helps set that look off. This is a pear, and I have a set of 4 of these, and they're all different fruits, and they've got a beaded edge, and these are in really great shape. I've seen some with flowers, and I've seen additional fruit, but the ones that I have are just these 4. So it's a nice set of 4, and I will be listing them as a set of 4. It's amazing how beautiful the coloring are. You know, they pop. And again, in great condition. Whoever had these took really good care of them. I don't know if I would use them. I think I would put them maybe on the wall, hang them on the wall. But I think this is really sweet and really cute looking. Keeping with the plates, these are becoming pretty plentiful. You can find them pretty much anywhere for like $1. These are painted plates by different artists, and some artists are more skilled than others. I just really found this plum and the butterflies to really stand out. I just thought that color was really pretty. I think the artist was pretty good. Not signed in the back, it's just a porcelain blank that then someone who was a hobbyist or an artist went ahead and painted that out. But there's no chips or cracks, but I think it's great for the fall season. Plums are so good. But this is really pretty. Great thing to add to your decor. Another item that's real popular is scroll work, real wood. This one is raw. It has its hanger on the back, but you can set it on a table. You can do good decor around it. It can be used to hold your cookbooks together. It could be hung on the wall. You can put a sculpture on it, but I just think it's really pretty raw. It could be painted. I will be selling it raw. I'm not going to touch that. I'm gonna let somebody else who really loves that look to take it. It has some really pretty fall leaves and some scrolls and vines. So it's a very nice piece, very solid, no condition issues. So I was traveling and I was able to find some items that I don't normally find in my area. And these are imported from Italy. I have no idea what this means. I've looked it up and I couldn't find anything. They're in really good shape. The person who owned them prior took really good care of them, put a felt at the bottom, but they are containers. They can be used on the countertop, or they can just used as a functional item, but they also could just be used for looks. Here's another one. This one's rather big. Again, handmade. You can actually feel the ripples and where the artist, the potter threw it. Again, felted on the bottom. It's plain on the back. Again, I don't know what that says, but I still think it looks really neat. I like the colors. I think the colors complement well for all different kinds of decor. And then this one. I like it. It's a set of 3. I like the shape. The weight of it's really good. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's hand done. This one had this loose, so that is how I know where it's from. I didn't pull the other ones off because I just wanted to keep that intact, but it is in the listing. These are really beautiful and they are imported from Italy. These are great for your farm country look, for what you want to do for your farmhouse style. And then of course I picked this little guy up. He's just cute. I don't think he's very valuable. I think he's cute. I'm either going to leave him like he is, or I'm going to use him to style with, so you can see what happens to this little piggy in the DIY portion. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the haul, and this is where I'm going to bring in some of the surprises and some of the things I might be remixing and reusing. These are just vintage tablecloths, and whenever I go to estate sales, I do look for vintage tablecloths. I think that they have patterns that are just really, really beautiful and well made. This one does not have any stains on it, and if they do have stains, I try to clean them out, but if I can't, I just go ahead and I do a lot of layering. I like to layer with this. So you could put a black tablecloth down or a gray tablecloth and layer this on top of that, and then just use a basket or a jar or a vase or something to cover up a stain. But this one does not have a stain. It's actually really nice. This one is super sweet. It has cherries on it, cherry blossoms and cherries. I just think that is so adorable. It's white. It's actually, again, whoever owned this took such good care of their linens. There isn't any stains on that. But this could be layered with a really nice burgundy tablecloth or a lime green tablecloth, but this could be layered up and look really pretty for that farm country sort of look. If you're going for more of that French country look, I found this swatch, and this was made in France. Pretty fancy. And this could be put in a frame and used. I just think that's really sweet looking. I like the green, and again, there's a lot of pinks and blues, but you could pull out whatever accent color you think you'd want to use. But this would look great with the amber glass and some of the wire and just the baskets and that sort of thing. That would really tie that together. And every once in a while, I'll pick something up that's a little bit of a surprise and I just like it. I drink tea. I'm not a coffee drinker all the time, so I do like my tea and I like teacups. This was actually a very generous one. It has some gold leafing on it. I'm not sure who the maker is. I'll show you the bottom in a minute. I just thought it was really pretty. The handle's really pretty. It's dirty on the inside. And it has a number on the bottom. And it says 21/14. I don't know what that means. It didn't have a saucer or anything with it, but I'm going to show you how you can add this to your decor without having it be actually a utilitarian object, a functional one, but actually a decor item, and I'll be showing you that in the DIY because it's just too pretty not to have it around to use. So there's that. I'll talk about this one last. This is a piece that I was able to find, and it is painted. It's actually painted on board. It's kind of interesting, and I think it'd make great wall hanging. I do like that it's sort of a deeper color with the red. Reminds me a little bit more of a farm country, French country. I like that look. But this could be very easily hung on the wall, or you could replicate it yourself. I will be doing a painting later on. I'm going to be painting a cow. We'll see how that looks with this, all of this thrift find when I put it all together. But I'm going to paint you a cow. And then the last, or second to last, are these trio of chickens. They have very unique coloring. I did try to find who made them, and I couldn't find it. I just think they're really interesting looking. They're in pretty good shape. This one's in really good shape. This one has a little bit of a weird defect from the glaze, but other than that, it's in really good shape too. Different coloring, a little bit, you know, not my taste, but we have a fix for that. This one is got a little fine fracture on it. So this one, I'm actually going to do a layer of paint over the top of it. And so this can be reused, and I'm hoping that grass will, or that, you know, the paint will kind of fill that crack in for that one. But it's a nice shape. It's just the coloring to me is a little bit off. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint this one. I might keep the other ones as is, but this one will definitely get painted. There's no maker's mark, and again, I don't know where it came from, but they are really cute, and if you're into having chickens in your kitchen, which a lot of people do, these are available. And then the very last item that I picked up, because I just thought it was so cute, and I really had no idea what it was other than you know, my grandma, my great-grandma used to have little figurines, so I have lots of them, and I've kept them. They used to put them in their plants for little plant friends or something. But this is a cat playing a guitar, which I think is hilarious. And I was looking for what this texture was when I was trying to list it, and it came out to be the sugar layer or something like that. But I could never explain what that hole was on the top of this one. And, well, it's not really a hole, it's like a bowl. And then it also had this opening and then a circle. And so I thought, this has got to be some type of a lamp or something. So I did a little more research, and I found one similar to it on an Etsy shop, and it's anthropomorphic cat. And it's from Japan, and it was the IW Rice, and it is a nightlight. So this would have had a little nightlight that went up underneath there, and there was a cord that came out here, and this was a switch. And she actually has hers lit up on one of her Etsy shops. This one has a very fine line that is just through the glaze. It's not quite all the way through, but it's just cracked. But I'm sure it's because that is where that little, it was a switch that you would punch, would make that turn on and off. But I think it's adorable. But it surprised me what these are valued at. If you want to check it out, it's on my Etsy shop. But it's pretty cute. Well, there you have it. That is my thrift find. It was a lot of items. And again, they varied in price from really reasonable to, I think the highest I may have paid for something is maybe $5. But I'm going to show you how you can use these items in different ways on DIYing them by redesigning them. Also, how to style them together to get the different looks that you want. But these are all on my Etsy shop, so please check that out. If you're interested in any of these items, they are available. So thank you for watching.